What's good? Yo, that main event was a snooze fest, if I could to say the least. Snooze fest. But Usman defeats Jorge Masvidal by unanimous decision. Um, I thought he was gonna stop Masvidal. He really made it a boring fight. But I mean, he did exactly what he had to do and got the W. So shouts out to Usman. Got it done. It was a really exciting card until that fight. Um, yeah, really exciting card until that fight. I enjoyed Volk versus Max Holloway. That was a good fight. And then you had Aldo versus I'm trying to think. I forget the guy's name that Aldo fought, but Bushido's the link's not working. All right, I'm gonna try it again, bro. I'm trying to get my guest in Bushido's boxing, man. He went live for the fight. Yeah, he went live for the fight. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try to send it again, bro. I'm gonna put it in the I'm gonna put it in the comments. So so y'all can get it. Anybody that wants to come on and you talk about the fight, talk about the card, you are more than welcome to. Yeah, tell me who you had winning the Volk Max Holloway fight. I thought Max got robbed, man. I thought that he controlled the first three rounds, and Volk came on strong in the last two, but he won the first three rounds definitively. So you tell me who you had winning that fight, man. Trying to get my guess on. But yo, the main event disappointed me. Yo. I thought I was gonna see fireworks. I thought I was gonna see classic game bread. I didn't. I didn't. Usman is like the Bernard Hopkins of MMA. He just slowed the pace down and he just held and just grinded his way to a W. It definitely was horrible to watch, but it is really effective. Like if that's what he's going to bring to the table, he's going to be hard to beat. He's going to be hard to beat because it's an awkward style to get used to. Oh, here's my man right now. Like I said, fellas, if you want to come in and say your piece about the card, man, come on in, man. I got my man Bushido's boxing. Got my man Albie.
Hey,
He cool. Good, Albie. Good,
hey, what's
Bushido.
good?
What up?
What's good?
What
What's good?
Yeah, it was good, man. I don't know, man. That shit was kind of boring, dog.
What?
you-
What? What? Those are good cards, man.
Yeah, it was a good card, but the last fight, I mean,
The last one.
I expected it from Usman, but I mean, damn.
Mm. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. It just displayed how disciplined and technical Usman is. He damn near
Yeah,
dominated that whole fight.
I don't even. I think that even if there was a rematch, I think that he'll probably do even better because he'll be actually preparing for Jorge Masvidal and
Right.
do even better in a rematch. Jorge's tough. He got good striking, good all that, but the, after the second, third round, you already knew that Usman pretty much was in control of the fight, man.
Yep. And the thing about it is, like, the longer the goes on. I mean, the match goes on. The more in control Usman becomes. He's just like this snowball effect fighter. You can see it really in the Woodley fight, the first Woodley fight. But Usman, you see it the first one, you see it in the second one too. I mean, I'm sorry, it's the first one. But yeah, it's just like this snowball effect. that happens with whenever Usman goes with people, he's just dominant.
I look at Usman as the Bernard Hopkins of
You said what?
MMA. Look good, but he just like slow grinds you to a W, and
Yeah.
it's really hard to game plan
Yeah.
for.
Right.
That's a good analogy. Good
That's a
comparison.
good analogy.
Yo, that shit was boring though, y'all. I'm sorry. after watching Max Holloway, after watching Aldo fight, the Aldo fight was the best fight of the night, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree. A sad loss for Jose Aldo.
Yeah,
A sad loss.
Sad. Took a beat too, man.
Peter Yan is the goods, man. He's the goods, show.
He is.
What do you think was the turning point in that fight?
I thought the turning point is right when when Jan just started putting that pressure on him. Like he just started pushing the pace, use his youth to his advantage, and start striking that body. That body striking to striking him to the Aldo's body was just like it completely changed that fight. Even from the first strike from the first round, he was just completely like I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was like a whole bruise on Aldo's rib. Like on his right side.
MMA coaches shouldn't move their head that way. Yeah.
That body shot, he was on the back, hurt him bad.
Yeah. And I don't know why Jan didn't start going to it sooner. I think he really showed his age when he wasn't doing that.
Who, Jose?
No. I said Peter Yan was showing his age. He was showing his inexperience by not going after that body more at the beginning.
It's hard to get there. No, it's hard to get there. See, this is where your boxing brain is going to mess up. Where he started trying to go to the body, you started seeing Jose Aldo bounce the knee.
Yeah.
It started to turn into more of a Thai fight,
like
a straight kickboxing match. That gives less access with punches to the body, which is why generally Thai fighters aren't good at delivering body shots with their hands, only with their kicks. Jan did try to kick to the body, but the problem is every time he kicked to the body, Jose will return to the legs. And as we all saw, and he said in his press conference, he couldn't keep taking the leg kicks, which is why he started pressing afterwards. Jan just made a good adjustment. Jan just he just turned it into a fight. He just made it more.
Hey, Dev, did you notice that he switched southpaw because he couldn't defend the kick?
I mean, it wasn't even so much he couldn't defend it. When you got somebody like Jose, even if you block the kick, it's going to bruise you up.
Yep.
So it didn't matter. He had to switch, period, because he just couldn't even if he defended from that stance, Jose was going to chew him up. If you look at, he never got hit with an unchecked kick. He checked every kick that Jose threw. Jose just blew straight through his legs, which has kind of been like Jose's moniker since his earlier career. So Jan made a good adjustment. Jan made 3 adjustments in that fight. And the reason that a lot of people picked Jose Aldo to win the fight was because to beat Jose Aldo, you got to be able to make a couple of adjustments. Jan has dominated. He's never lost. I don't think he's lost a round in the UFC, period, meaning we haven't seen him have to make those type of adjustments. And his biggest win is against Uriah Faber. So on paper, though he is a strong fighter, he wasn't supposed to beat Jose Aldo. Outside of Jose Aldo being, notoriously a little slower in the 4th and 5th round. But I'm going to say this. I honestly don't believe that was Jose Aldo. To say that Jose Aldo just faded like he normally does in the 4th round doesn't give Peter Yan his credit, because I saw Jose Aldo fight Marlon Moraes for 3 rounds. And at the end, Marlon Moraes was dead tired, and Jose Aldo looked like he didn't have no issue. In the end of the 3rd round, it looked like he wasn't really having an issue. Jan just did the right thing. He started pressing more. He started eating the shot to get down to the body. He started switching up the angles. He started going more volume and less power. And then he just made him wilt. It was a good adjustment. First he switched to southpaw, which was obvious he needed to do. And then after he switched to southpaw, he stopped boxing. He had to meet him on the tide plane. And then once he did that, he just had to shell up and start walking through the rain. And once he did that, yeah, he lost a couple rounds, but he wound up wilting him, and that was the story of the fight. It was a good fight by Jan. I don't know if that's going to be enough to beat somebody like a Henry Cejudo if, Henry does what every fighter does, which is come right out of retirement the second somebody rear their head up.
I think the turning point for our fight to me was when I think it was the third round when he threw that one hard leg kick and missed. Once he threw that leg kick and missed, after that it seemed like all his energy was gone. He took a deep breath. I'm like, oh damn, he missed that leg kick. He thought he wasted a lot of energy, and after that he started getting beat up.
It was actually a little before then because Jose stopped responding. He started just trying to get out the way more.
Mm.
And that's kind of the telltale sign with a fighter when they start. When you see a guy, he's sharp and he'll check something on the arm, stay more in the pocket, start returning a whole lot more. And you start seeing him shift to, all right, let me get out the way. Let me start pulling my head back. Let me reset back in the center. He started looking for breaks. And the one thing, and what Jan did was never let him have a break. And I think that's going to give Aljamain Sterling's a lot of problems. Aljo, as strong as he is as a wrestler, Petr Yan's a strong dude. He has good grappling. I don't think anyone's going to argue that Aljamain Sterling can even think about beating Petr Yan on the feet. It's all going to be, can he get a grip of him, get him down, keep him down, and can he finish him? Because over 5 rounds, I don't see Aljo beating Petr Yan over 5 rounds. Not somebody that's that strong, and that has that ability to adjust. So,
Right.
Where I was taken aback is he can box.
Oh yeah, he was a very good boxer. Very good boxer. We're starting to get a little bit more of that in the UFC, where MMA period, where you're starting to get guys that can box a little bit better. I mean, far cry from let's say a strong amateur, but it's good for.
I mean, I think the whole MMA, like the boxing stance is a negative in MMA, so they're not going to fully be able to really box like a boxer because it's MMA. You got to have your stance adjusted for the takedown. So I mean,
you can.
It's just a lot of different things. I mean, they could be the best MMA boxer. You know what I'm saying? But as far as them getting in the ring, boxing.
Arguments for that. It's arguments for that. In the early days, then people could say yes, but I mean, we got plenty of guys who've been able to showcase their hands primarily and still stay in more of a bladed stance. Connor being one of the better guys. Justin Ledette, he was just a little too small, but he came from a strong amateur background and was doing well at heavyweight. Went down to light heavyweight, started getting clipped because the guys were just too fast. And anything over 205, we can knock each other out with one shot. But it's definitely something you can do. You just gotta, if you're going to stand more bladed, you gotta be more prepared to keep bringing the fight back into your realm. A perfect example of that is like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who fights very traditional karate stance. He is like, if boxing's bladed, right, he stands completely sideways, which is like a big no-no. And everyone keeps saying like he's going to get cut down with kicks. He's actually never been out leg kicked in any of his fights. So it's all about understanding what advantages you do have with your stance and what you're going to have to look out for. I will say this simply because I stand primarily in a boxing stance in MMA. When you do stand more boxing-wise and guys start looking for kicks, it's kind of like what they call like the the like southpaw experience advantage is I'm used to seeing more right hands than left hands. I'm used to seeing guys trying to kick my legs in that stance more than they are seeing guys that can avoid kicks in that stance more. You get what I'm saying? So if you're going to adopt the boxing stance,
Yeah.
hey, you got to put that time in, and it's going to take a long time to do it. Again, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson was 49-0 and a two-time world kickboxing champion before he fought in MMA once, and he still had to adjust to it. So it just takes a while, but it's possible. It's possible, but it's a good thing to see that guys are getting more proficient with their hands in MMA.
I feel like Peter Yan has a natural boxing stance.
He switches on and off. Peter Yan actually comes from a Thai boxing camp, but he did come up as a kid apparently under the Russian boxing system out of Siberia.
He has an Eastern European style, jab extended.
Yeah,
really textbook. Good.
yeah, which works really well for MMA. Works really well for MMA because his legs are always right under him, so it's hard to take him down.
Mm.
You feel me? It's not like more of an American style where his hand is more by his waist or elbow by the hip or something like that, or his arms are extended and his legs can take up a whole bunch of different positions or might be a little wider. So, I mean, yeah, Peter Yan showed a lot tonight. He showed a lot tonight. I like Peter Yan. I want to see him. I want to see how he does against Marlon Moraes over 5 rounds. I think that's a good test for him. Marlon Moraes is a big explosive puncher, and I don't think Yan is facing one with that kind of power yet.
Who did you have winning the Max Holloway fight?
Max Holloway 3-2. I'm fights like that. The reason they annoy me is because I always believe people going to score it the way they say they're going to score it. You feel me? It's like if you go on score it based on your scoring criteria, Max won. If it's a person moving forward the whole time and the strikes are even, no one's gotten hurt. Actually, the person on the back foot has been hit with the more show strikes. I mean, he been hit with the cleaner, more showier punches. He lost. He gave up the octagon control. He gave up the aggression. If we both have effective striking, whatever the fuck that means, and we're tied, we're very close in terms of the actual output. Neither one of them was putting out more, and we're close in our landing. Then it comes down to who landed the cleaner shots, who was the more aggressive person, who controlled the octagon more. In the third round, Max won on every single one of those. He landed a big right uppercut, left hook to start the round, spinning back kick that literally sent him into the cage, threw a good knee off the body, flying knee to the head. It's like, what more did you want him to do? He matched damn near every leg kick. I think it was a disparity of 5 leg kicks there, and clearly the leg kicks didn't play any part of the fight like in the first fight. I don't get, if we're using that scoring criteria by y'all rules. I don't even necessarily agree with the rules, but by y'all rules, Max won that fight.
Bushido, how'd you score?
Which fight?
Max Holloway versus Volk.
I thought Max edged that fight, bro. Honestly, I thought Max won that.
Yeah,
I gave Max the first 3 rounds.
A draw would have been fair, or a split decision for Max.
I agree.
I felt
they didn't.
And really, honest, it would have been a better business move because now you have it's 1-1. You know what I'm saying? Then you have a third fight between the two. Now it's 2-0. A lot of people probably feel that Max won the second fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be tricky now if they even want to try to make a third fight. It's gonna be like
Here's the bad thing is a lot of people thought he won the first fight.
Yeah.
People thought he
Who they
won.
thought Max won the first fight?
A lot of people thought he won the first fight for the same reason that they
Man,
just gave Volkanovski the second fight. They gave Volkanovski the second fight because from the third round on, he turned it up with the volume and just started matching the pace. Max did that in the first fight. Max was
right.
more on the back foot though in the first fight. He said in this fight, "I'm gonna be on the front foot since you want to play the point game." He went out there and knew exactly what your game plan was going to be. Not only that, if it's 2-2 in the swing, a person like you can't look at it like this guy got dropped twice. Max didn't go home with a cut. Like I just don't get. I don't understand how they're scoring it. It's the same two fighters, and as people said, it was this tale of the same fight just on different ends. In the first fight, Volkanovski started off strong, real quick. Towards the end of the third round, Max started picking it up, and he won the fourth and fifth round on two of the judges' scorecards in the first fight. This fight, Volkanovski started picking it up, but he barely won rounds. Max definitely won rounds. I, I don't get it. So now I don't know what they want to do. I don't know how they're going to do it because Max has already cleared out the division twice, damn near. There's
Right,
no one for
right.
him to fight. People already feel like he won that fight. It's not saying that they won't have him fight again because they have done those type of fights, both in boxing and in MMA. We look back at the Pacquiao Marquez, if we look at Tito Ortiz, Ken Shamrock, there has been a 2-0 when they keep fighting until the other person who they felt should win finally fucking wins. But yeah, it's just I feel bad for that was a feel bad moment
Mm-hmm.
because I'm checking like I start looking around. I'm like, who actually felt like Volkanovski won? And the only two people that I saw don't know shit about MMA. It was two actors.
Nah, I
Yeah,
felt
that was weird.
Max should have got that.
That was
Uh,
definitely a Max Holloway win.
if we going, I just again, if we're going to score it, if we're going to score it using a scoring criteria, then let's score it using the scoring criteria. I think a lot needs to change in MMA scoring. To tell you the truth, I mean, a lot of my
So
career, I played to it, but still, it's like a lot needs to
I,
change in MMA scoring.
I think the knockdown should count more than the takedown. I don't know though. What do you think?
Of course, they count more because he dropped you when Volkanovski secured two takedowns. I'm not giving him the third because Max went for one and just wound up flipping at the very end of his takedown attempt. So
Right.
I can give you the third. But on the two takedowns you got, Max wasn't on the ground for 10 seconds. How can I give you something when you didn't
Right.
control a person at all? Like you didn't control him at all. So I can't score that for you. It's like, yes, you were able to take his leg out. But let me ask you this. If he caught the kick and then swept his leg, would you think they count that the same as a takedown? No, they don't. They count a takedown more than sweeping the leg out, even if the person's on the ground for the same amount of time. And this is the type of problems that we have with MMA. You got people that don't know. MMA is like it's hard to get judging right in boxing. In boxing, I'm not going to say it's simple, but in comparison to how you score it, a lot more simpler than MMA. If one person is getting punched a little bit more than the other person, he's probably winning the fucking fight. That's how
Right.
it goes. In MMA, we can look at the Jorge Masvidal fight, right? Kamaru Usman's leaning up against him the whole time, and the second they break in the first round, what you call it, Jorge starts unloading kicks and punches and shit like that. Who's winning that fight if you don't know how MMA works? Because there have been plenty of fights where a person is held up against the cage, and during the breaks, the other person got busy for a second, and the one that was getting held winded up winning the fight. Obviously, vice versa too. It really depends on who's. It's too many elements to judge for three people who haven't done any of them to try to judge it. So for example, a wide known thing amongst fighters is if someone throws a kick and you hear a slap, it probably didn't hurt at all. That's something every fighter knows, every coach knows. Most people that have watched MMA for a while or kickboxing for a while knows. When you hear a kick, it normally doesn't hurt. When a kick sounds like a thud, like it sounds like two pieces of wood hitting together, that's when they hurt. Volkanovski would throw like a bad inside low kick and then slap again on the bottom of the calf. And they still count that as much as Max landing a straight right hand down the pipe to his face.
Yeah, yo, I really don't know. Now that you got me thinking, I really never understood how MMA scored.
I'm a fighter and I don't understand how MMA scores.
Yo, last question. What did y'all think of the actual main event? I thought it kind of sucked.
What did you think was going to happen?
I thought that I thought Masvidal cut too much weight too soon, and I thought Usman would stop him because
Who?
of the weight.
Here's my thing. Who weighed Masvidal in to say he was 20 pounds over?
Good point.
He said he was 20 pounds over. I know for a fact Masvidal has a vlogging series called the non-stop fighter or some shit like that. And I know 2 weeks beforehand he was working with Bo Nichols, and the week beforehand he was working with Bo Nichols, was getting ready for a wrestler. He's been in camp ever since they started going back and forth about the pricing. You think he just showed up, was able to go against Carl Usman and defend takedowns for 4 rounds when Tyrone Woodley with a full camp and almost a Division One national champion couldn't keep Usman off him for 2 rounds? When Kobe Covington, who is known as a cardio machine, couldn't keep Usman off of him? You trying to tell me a person came in with no camp on 6 days notice, cut 20 pounds, who's a 500 fighter and stayed with Usman? He came in with a camp. Everybody knows he came in with a camp. He can sit here and play it like that. If he didn't, I don't give a fuck how tough you think you are. Ain't no check for a person with pride that's gonna put them in there where they think they're gonna get their ass whooped. Again, so that's like Jorge Masvidal. He wouldn't have stepped in there if he didn't think that he was in shape enough to win. It's just not gonna happen. Guys in good shape cut 20 pounds and can't go 5 rounds with Usman. He was in amazing shape. He came in ripped up.
Yeah.
He didn't look like
I,
he didn't come in looking like he'd been eating cubanos and fucking for 2 weeks. He looked like he had been training. His
So you
video,
think that was just gamesmanship?
his gamesmanship. It's just to keep look. Usman got over 40 fights. He's a veteran of a veteran of a veteran. He's been everywhere and seen everything, and he gonna try to get an edge wherever he can. If you think that this dude is coming in 20 pounds over and he wasn't ready for you, you might start underestimating him, and that's when he catches you fucking sleeping.
right.
Because it wasn't like Jorge had a slow pace. He was blitzing from the rip,
Mm.
and he still didn't get finished by Usman. Again, Damian Maya, Rafael Dos Anjos, Tyrone Woodley, and Kobe Covington couldn't keep Usman off him for that long. You trying to tell me with no camp, you kept him off that long? There's already videos of you being in wrestling practice. You've been in MMA camps. You just said you was training a couple weeks ago with your boy to get ready for a fight. I forgot who he was. What a couple with Dustin Poirier getting him ready for the fight. You was in his whole camp, and that was what about 2 weeks ago. So it's not like in those 2 weeks you just got so big when you knew that you was possibly stepping in. Come on, man. I don't know if he think that we don't pay attention or we don't. I mean, it's a good move on his end, but the one thing I like about Carl Usman is he didn't give a fuck. He was gonna treat you the same way he treat everybody else.
All right. Albie, who do you want to see Usman fight next, and what do you want to see from Masvidal?
Well, who do I want to see from Masvidal? I really don't have a preference for who Masvidal fight. He got what he wanted at the end of this. I don't have a preference to who he's going to fight again. I do think it's going to be him and Kobe Covington next, and they're going to give when this whole COVID stuff and it's probably going to be Usman and the kid who caught COVID. I can't remember his name. Gilbert Burns. It's going to be Gilbert Burns versus Usman coming up. That's the only way I see things coming. It's definitely going to be Covington versus Masvidal next, as far as that goes. Because I know Kobe want to get back to that belt, and that's actually, to me, in my opinion, a way more interesting fight. Or at least, when I say interesting, I don't mean like I don't want to see it. It's just like there's more variables in it with Covington versus Masvidal than Usman versus Masvidal.
I'm gonna throw a curveball in there. The person that nobody is talking about, and I can't believe nobody's talking about, is Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards was supposed to fight Tyrone Woodley, and then Gilbert Burns stepped in last minute. People forget that. Leon Edwards was the one who was supposed to be fighting for the number one contender spot. Leon Edwards is on the streak. Leon Edwards is one of the biggest stars that come out of the UK for MMA under Darren Till. Leon Edwards had a fight backstage with Jorge Masvidal, and that's where the whole two-piece in the soda came from. Leon Edwards is unmatched. Leon Edwards is also a striker who refuses to go to the ground and has been calling Jorge Masvidal out since that accident happened. I would say off the top, Kobe Covington and Jorge Masvidal makes a lot of sense. I think Leon Edwards and Jorge Masvidal is the fight to fucking make. I think that's the fight to make.
And what about Usman?
Usman's going to take a break. I guarantee you Usman's probably not fighting the rest of this year.
I agree.
Bushido, who do you want to see Usman? Who do you want to see Usman and Masvidal fight? Ralph, do you hear me?
My man took a trip.
Man, he probably went off to go get a snack. I'll be finish it off because it's 2:23.
All right.
And I'm about to hit the hay.
I feel that. Look, it was a good card. It was as far as
Wait. Are we not going to talk about the Rhodes fight?
That was a good fight. My phone's about to die though.
I mean, hey Dev, if you want to touch on that, we about to finish this off. They would give us a 3 a.m. card.
Yo, I got a whole rant about that. You know what time it is in Abu Dhabi when they started this shit? It was fucking 6 a.m. Dana White's full of shit.
We can't hear you no more, bro.
Oh, me?
No, he inboxed. He inboxed and said, "Can hear." Go ahead, finish it off, Al.
Oh, look, man. Dana White's full of shit. Whoever run this promotion full of shit. No reason to have a card. Start at 10 p.m. We all on the other side of the world where it's fucking 6 a.m. Don't make fucking 6. It's just
it starts 10 p.m. period though.
Look, not the last time they was in Saudi Arabia. No, it didn't. It was at like 4. That was a chill ass day. That was fucking great. You know what it's like to get the fights done at 7 o'clock?
But they're trying
the whole rest of my night. Yo, I gotta get up. I gotta get up at fucking 8. Yeah, I'm not even home.
They cater into the American audience, and this is the time they're used to.
Man, fuck Americans. They don't know what they want. I'm American. I still don't know what I want. It's full of shit. We need to start this shit at 4 p.m.
You know what? That's the real deal. We out.
Yo, thanks for joining me. I wanted to do a longer show, but it is very late.
Yeah.
Check us out. Next fight card. We'll all be here. My man Albie, my man Dev, Bushido's Boxing, YSM Sports Media. We out.
All right.